Yo, what's up, guys? Dante here, back with another video. Um, I'm gonna go through the Tyreek Hill situation just a little bit. I've already watched it in its entirety, and it's the video. It's a lot. It's not as serious as people is making it out to be. It's actually very humorous, in all honesty. Um, so this is a quick breakdown. This guy right here is the officer. Um, Daniel Batista is his name. How I figured that out, there's a part later on where he logs into his, I guess, police computer that's on the back of his, on the back of his motorcycle, and his name pops up on like the beginning screen, like when you boot up your computer, if you have like a Windows computer, it has your name, like whoever's account name, and you got to put in your password. So he didn't they didn't do a good job of censoring that until afterwards. Until after he logs in, it's a lot of basically later on in the video. It's a lot of stuff gets censored. Not really, just they censor a lot of stuff that's on his computer, and there's a lot of parts during the video where he cuts off the audio of the camera, so you still see everything, but there's just no audio. Um, it happens quite a few times, especially when he's talking to certain people. So that right there is a red flag. So I just give you a quick rundown. So essentially, he clocks Tyreek. I guess he was going over the speed limit, and he caught him right before the entrance to the stadium, and he tells him to pull over, and he complies. He pulls over, and he sees he has no seatbelt, so he's like, "Hey, you don't have a seatbelt on. You're going over the speed limit. Let me see your license." And he was basically this scene right here. This is actually the second time the window is up. So the window was up when he walks to him, and he knocks on the window in a very not in an aggressive manner, but like he knocks on the window in a very obnoxious manner, like he doesn't like he doesn't see him that he's walking up. He knows why he's there. He sees you there. You don't have to knock on the window. He'll roll down the window. Just give him like 2 seconds to roll down the window, and he was. And then when he rolls down the window, that's when Tyreek, he starts. I guess this is the part where they say he was uncooperative. He was talking about. He's like, "Hey man, don't tap my window like that." That's all he said. He says that a few times, repeats it. He's like, "Hey man, look, you live the," and then he gets upset. He gets sensitive or whatever. He goes back at him. He's like, "Hey, when I tell you do something, do something." He tells him that a lot. Him and like a couple other officers, they're like, "Hey, we tell you what to do. You do this, all right?" And so he rolls it up. He's like, "Hey, roll it down." And he rolls it down to Smith. He's like, "Hey, I told you, roll down the window." And then he's like, "You know what? If you don't do what I say, I'm gonna take you out the car. You know what? Get out." And I guess he refused at that point. Um, he kept telling him to get out. So eventually he complied. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna get out." And Tyreek did the smart thing. So right here, sometime between this part and the part he gets pulled out of the car, he calls Drew Rosenhaus, which is his agent, and that was a very smart move. He called him right before he was still on the phone when he pulled him out of the car, which is crazy. He pulled him out, he dropped the phone, and then they put him. Uh, it it was like I said, it's not as the situation is not as dramatic as everyone was making it out to be. Once you see the video, um, they weren't like super aggressive with him. They didn't have to they didn't have to pull him out and put him face down on the ground on that dirty ass Miami streets. Miami dirty. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to sit on that floor. But the fact that they got him face down is crazy. Um, yeah, they put him face down. They put the handcuffs on, and I think one guy did have his foot on it. I mean, not his foot, his knee on the back of his neck. Not back of his neck, but the back of his on his back. And everyone was concerned, like, oh, it was like oh, I know. I guess we know where this is going, and it doesn't go in that direction. He's actually not even on the ground really that long. I think he's on the ground like 30 seconds, 30, 45 seconds. Then they pull him up and they're still talking. And then they put him on the sidewalk and they tell him to sit down. He sits down. And then they keep going back and forth. And then the officer's getting mad. Another officer's getting mad. And then he was like, then they keep going back to the thing. Hey, when we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand? That's how we do it. And like they're talking down to him, like, bro, it's not on all this for because he was. I get I mean, I understand. Look, you don't want nobody speeding, but he wasn't endangering anybody. People go over the speed limit every freaking day and don't. And they're not endangering nobody per se. They're just going over the speed limit. And so they pull him and they sit down. They sit him down. They get the handcuffs, and then he just. I'll send you the rest of the video. It's like 30 minutes. You see, it's 27 minutes long. Nothing happens. Like I said, it's actually humorous. The video, and it throws you off because like right here, this is the officer. This is what I said. His name Manuel Batista. Um, I don't want to make like watch the video and he the how he sounds. It threw me off because I'm like, hold on, what the hell? Like you sound like that, and you probably think, well, what does he sound like? Well, you take his name, you kind of put two and two together of what he would sound like, and you would think, okay, yeah, that's what he sounds like, especially down in South Beach. But that's when it got really funny because like just hearing him talk and hearing him explain the situation, and none of the like other than like the couple guys that helped detain Tyreek, the rest of them was just kind of like, what are we doing here? Like, do you not? Even one of the officers walked up to him like, hey, that's the Miami Dolphins star player. He's like, oh, and then he just I don't think he dismissed it, but I think at that point he had to known he messed up because at that point he's like, damn, I might be in some trouble because I kind of overreacted to this guy. Now when I was looking, I was like, I give the officer a little respect here because he treated him like any other person he would treat him. I mean, this is a dickhead move, but you got to give him some respect. He didn't give him any special treatment. Now I don't know if he does either he didn't know who that was or he knew who that was and he did what he did anyway. And that's what I'm saying. I give him some respect. Not I don't give him respect for doing all this, but I kind of give him some respect in the aspect that he's doing this. I guess by this action, he doesn't care who you are. He's going to do his job the way he thinks he's supposed to do his job. But anyway, so then that happened, and then like a few minutes later, as he's sitting there, big man walks up and he walks up with his hands up, and they start screaming and shouting, "Hey, hey, you need to back up! You need to back up!" And it turns out that was Calais Campbell, and he walks up to him because you see this is all from his perspective. It's all from his body cam, and he walks up. He's like, hey, "Man, I'm just what's going on? What's going on?" He's like, "Hey, get back, get back!" And then he's like, he's backing up, and they keep telling him to get back. He's like, all right, but how how far how he's like how far do you want me to back up? He's like past that car. And granted, he's like two. There's like multiple parked cars. And he's telling him like, hey, back up to that car. Okay, so like it was like the car like it was like the second car parked. You'll see if you watch the video, you'll see it. Actually, I can just show it to you. I'm not gonna play anything, but I'm gonna show it. So this is him. Uh, there we go. So they got him in handcuffs. This is after they put him on the ground. Like I said, he wasn't on the ground very long. They picked him up, put him, and then he kept telling them he had the surgery. And I didn't. I guess I forgot he had some kind of surgery in the off season, but it was for his knee. It's like, and apparently they didn't believe him. Apparently because and one of the officers said something like, "Oh, really? You had surgery, huh?" And he kept telling me, "Yeah, I had surgery. I got tendonitis in my knee or something like that." I'm like, I mean, the dude's not lying. I mean, he's telling you the truth. All you gotta do is look at any kind of sports news article or report. You can pull that up on right there and be like, "Oh, this guy's not lying," which is great. You would think they would know that because he's a Miami Dolphin star player, and plus, I know some of these guys do security detail around the stadium year round. So I'm like, how do you not know who this is? Now, like I said, you don't treat the guy with special treatment. If he's breaking the law, he's breaking the law. But just like anybody else, if it's just look, the man was speeding a little bit and he had no seatbelt on. This is unnecessary. Hey, hit you with the fine, hit you with the ticket, fine, move on. Hey, man, put your seatbelt on and slow down and move on about your day. Um, so yeah, you got here, and then Calais Campbell. Here we go, right here. This is him. He popped up, and he like I said, he got hands. I mean, he's telling him how far you want me to back up, and like I said, so that car. I guess you can see it right better from here. So he's like, back up. He's like to this car right here. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like they was just it was just chaos and pandemonium. Like they didn't know what to do because I think it threw them off that other people were trying to intervene. I think that's what threw them off because they didn't expect anybody to barge in like that. So Calais was here, and then even they put him in the handcuffs. Now it kind of okay. Then so they come back to him later. So then he walked down there because they see another car stop, and then this guy right here, this is Johnu Smith, who's a tight end. And he pops up, and he's trying to see what's going on, and then he walks up to him and he's like, "Hey, man, you need to leave." He's like, I'm just standing there." I'm like, "What are you doing?" And I guess he was calling someone else too. He's probably calling someone with the team. I'm not sure. And he kept yelling at him, "Hey, you need to leave. We're gonna put you on the rest too." He's like, and then when he's like, "All right, cool, we're gonna leave," and he kept saying, "Hey, you need to leave." He was like, "Hey, you need to leave, or we're gonna arrest you." It's like, "All right, we're leaving." He's like, "Look, you need to leave." He's like, "Show me your license." And then they made him go, and he had to open his door. Um, and this is stupid, right? So he's like, all right, so it's in my bag. Um, let me just. So here you go. All right, so he goes into his bag. He has to open door. This is a nice car, by the way. This is crazy. I like how this door opens this way. This door opens that way. This is cool. And then he told his officer buddy to close this door, which is stupid because he closes this door. It's not like the guy the window's still open. He can still record. It's stupid. This is dumb. Why close this door? Like this window's not open. Like he can't. Like it's gonna stop him from recording. It's just dumb. So he's still doing it, and then he walks back over to. Did they hit him? Did they arrest him yet? What? Where it is? There was here it is. Here it is. So this is the part. So let me before we do anything. So let me go. So this right here is how I figured out what his name was. So this is his motorcycle, and that's like the little the police things. So what you see right here when it pops up to the window screen, when it gets to the part where you got to put in your password, look at it right here. He pulls it up, bang, Manuel Batista. What did I say? Yeah, Manuel Batista. So this is that officer's name, Officer Manuel Batista. And I think they messed up because you notice the rest of the way, um, after they get to that part, well, not yet. Okay, so this is Calais, and then this guy walks over here. He's telling him, "Hey, you need to get back." And he was like, "What did I do?" He's like, "You're stopping in the area you're not supposed to stop." And he's like, "All right, cool. You need to get back." Like he's just trying to figure out why you got this. And the beautiful thing is, they don't say nothing about their relationship with Tyreek. They just go up. They think they're just random dudes. And I don't think they know that they're ball players, they're teammates. So he's telling him, his officer buddy's telling him to get back on the sidewalk and to get out of here, or you're going to get arrested too. You're going to get detained. And my only thing, right? So right here, so I was a little concerned. So you see what he's doing right here on his hip? I thought he was gonna like tase him. I was like, what the hell's going on? And but then it was like, look, see how his hands went? I thought he was about to shoot him with something. But it was so I think it was just the way he pulled out the handcuffs. I guess I don't know. So then they put him in handcuffs, and and he's then they're telling other people, "Hey, you need to move along." I mean, at this point, it's you made such a spectacle out of this. Of course, people are going to be and see now they want to censor everything. It's too late. We can see who's this computer unless he's using someone else's computer. Usually, you use the computer that's in your car. You don't use someone else's cop computer. I've never seen it. I usually see when they do stuff like that, they always get into their car. Whoever's in that car, that's usually that's usually their computer. But yeah, so you see Calais, he's just on one knee. I mean, and then there's just other people there. They're just walking by like, what is going on? And so yeah, that goes on, and it's funny because this part right here, I'm not playing the sound, but for a good portion of this, if you listen to the background, Tyreek Hill is just talking major shit. Like he's shit talking to all these dudes. It's funny as hell. Um, and then they go back here, and then they finally give Jonu his license back, and then they hit him. Look at his face, like y'all motherfuckers. So they hit him with a citation. They hit him with two citations. They hit him with oh, they hit him with one. They hit him with his plates were expired. I think it was the stopping in a spot you're not supposed to stop, and they hit him with with the expired tag. I'm like, come on, dog, y'all serious? Are you serious though? That's crazy. And they hit him, and then there's more of this, and I think this is when right here. So then I'm pretty sure that guy in the red shirt is Rosenhaus, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I think that's the agent. So he's right here. This one he's talking to who are those other people in the background? Or maybe that's Rosenhaus. Is that Rosenhaus? Is that Rosenhaus? Because he's talking. Because there was a point right here where he's talking. They show it. He's talking to. Um. Yeah, who are these people back here? I don't know who these people are. Dang, where is it? It was like it's like right here. Um. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, it's a lot of blurring out stuff. I think it's all the stuff on his computer, but they also blur. He's also turning off his webcam. I mean, not web, let's say webcam. They turn off his. He keeps turning off the microphone on his thing. Where was it? There was a part when he was sitting down, and the guy in the red shirt was talking to him. Where is that? There you go. There you go. Yeah, he picks up the phone, throws it back in the car. I think that's Rosenhaus right here. And then at this point, you got the whole world looking at him. Yeah, so I think that's him right there talking to him, just trying to console. Because I don't think the way he was talking to, like he didn't seem like distraught or anything. He was more annoyed that they wasted 30 minutes of his day. He even said, "Man, this has messed me up. He messed up my whole day." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet he had the half of the department down." I'm like, "Bruh, this is one thing I never understand about this stuff. I get the situations where it can escalate, but like, bro, you don't need a dozen people. You don't need a dozen cops for one guy. That should never be the case. All you're doing is making the situation look worse than it actually is. One or two max. You know what I'm saying? it should never be like a whole. There should never be a whole battalion of officers for one guy. I've seen that. Actually, I saw that the other day. One dude got pulled over, and there was like 6 cop cars. I'm like, if something goes down, you only need one shot. You don't need 10 shots. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like this whole video, just this is overkill. And then this guy, this is the second. I think it's the second time he took out that damn rag to wipe his face off. He the only one out there sweating because he bull jived him. All that he did all this for nothing. See, you gotta one thing about this cop stuff I've noticed, they don't know how to talk to people. It's very weird. They have no a lot of these guys have no people skills, which is very weird because 99% of your day you're not really you're not in really any confrontations. I don't know why you're so um I don't know why you're so hostile all the time. That's crazy. That's skip. Yeah, but anyway. But yeah, so that was that. And then so like I said, nothing happened. More people walk by, they're looking at this, trying to figure out what's going on. They probably already put two and two together, like, oh, Tyreek Hill, something happened to him. And then so this is my favorite this is my favorite part of the video. So after all that happens, I'm just trying to who I guess that's his family back there. Those aren't random people. And these two fools like who's the handcuff of these? I'm like, come on, dog. And then I think he's about to do this is probably my favorite part of the video. This is probably better than him. Uh, he was smack talking them. He was smack talking dudes. You could hear it in the background. He was just smack talking these dudes for like 4 or 5 minutes straight. It was just you just hear him in the background. He's just talking mad stuff to him. And I think it's about to happen here when he walks up. And me personally, I wouldn't have done anything, but he's say what you will about Tyreek Hill. He's a better person than a lot of people for what he did. Like he could have easily he could have blown up and got aggressive at these fools afterwards, and he was like, you know what, we're good, bro. It is what it is. Look at this. Look at this. I did. He goes out there and shake. He even shakes his punk ass hand too. You see it right here. You old punk ass. Me personally, I'd have shook. I wouldn't even if I really had to. I wouldn't have shook his hand, but I'd have shook everyone else. Like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. But I definitely wouldn't have shook his hand. Fuck no. So who's one of them is one of them is Drew Rosenhaus. I know that. I know, but Drew Rosenhaus, he's been in the game for a long time. I can't believe he's still what's the word? He's still an agent for people. That's crazy. He's been in the game for a long time. I remember him back in actually he was one of the agents you could pick in like the old Madden games. And then yeah, so that's it. Yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts and perspective on it. At the end of the day, if the dude just knew how to talk to him better, this is really not a this is no issue. All you gotta do is like, hey, all you gotta do is make the motion, hey, roll your window down. He'd be like, hey, you were speeding back there, and I see you don't have your seatbelt on. Let me get your license, registration, da da da, do that. All right, my man. Hey, I gotta hit you with the citation. You was going however much over the speed limit. You didn't have your ticket on. I gotta hit you with this citation. It is what it is. He could have went on about your day. You could have done that in a fraction of the time that it was for this. You spent 30 minutes. You wasted 30 minutes of everyone's life that was involved in this thing. Calais Campbell, Jonu Smith. You hit him with the citation, which is crazy. And I understand the place thing. Like, look, man, I get they got to be renewed, but that's like that. He was just looking for more stuff to get people on. That's what it's saying. Like, that was so weird. This is such a weird situation. In my opinion, what he should have did, is when that dude told him to pull over. I would have drove straight into the facility and then had this fool looking crazy like, wait, what the hell? Why are we in the stadium? Well, dumb bitch, I work here. And then you would have destroyed everything. You would have been like, oh, hey, what's up, man? I'm just going into work. And be like, oh. And I bet you he wouldn't have done this if it was in the stadium. If you had made it into the stadium, none of this would happen. He would have got out. He would have talked to you like a civil human being, and then he would have went on about your day. He probably wouldn't even. They realistically, he probably wouldn't have hit you with any citations if you had just pulled right into say. That's what I would have done. Just pull like, hey, I'm like, what? I don't know. What's like 500 yards from the stadium? Let me just drive into the stadium. He gonna follow me anyway. So like, shoot, I might as well drive into the stadium, and then he could have. I don't know. But other than that, he did what they asked. It took him a while to get there. But even then, I was like, you can't come off the bat disrespectful and expect people to do stuff that you want them to do. That's not how that works. You got to reciprocate respect. But yeah, man, this is crazy. I can see why. I can see why in the post game, even the celebration, I can see why he was having a fun laugh at it. Because at the end of the day, could this have been worse? Yeah, it could have been worse, but it wasn't. It wasn't worse. It actually was not as bad as people were imagining. Even me. I was imagining this to be something like on a much more serious note, but it's actually pretty funny when you watch the whole video. And a lot of the video, nothing happens anyway. They're just sitting around. So that's usually what happens at these stops and detainments. Once they detain the person, it's just they're sitting there for 20, 30 minutes just trying to figure out what to do. But yeah, anyway, that's all I gotta say. This I just wanted to, get this out there. Um, I've been waiting all people. I know everyone's been waiting um, the last 2 days to figure out um, what actually happened. They put out the video, and here you go. Here's the proof. Yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.